On the Hawkeyes Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, this is the Fight for Iowa podcast, brought to you by Athletico Physical Therapy, Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Iowa's Corn Farmers, Quick Star, and by U.S. Bank. This is the Fight for Iowa podcast. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Dolphin, voice of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Welcome to Fight for Iowa. Beautiful weather, or at least improving weather. We should be watching Iowa baseball. And joining us from Iowa City in his home is head coach Rick Heller, the veteran, the Hall of Famer. Went over 900 wins for a career this season. And then the brakes were put on at 10-5. The Hawks had won 10 of their first 15 games, including a 2-game sweep of Kansas, and had won 7 of their last 8. Only Iowa, Maryland, and Penn State can boast of 10-5 records when the rest of the season was canceled. So with that, we say, again, welcome to Fight for Iowa. We're brought to you by our friends at Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Iowa Corn, U.S. Bank, and Athletico Physical Therapy. 6 consecutive 30-win seasons. Rick, that's including this year, that's taken a lot of good players and a lot of outstanding coaches assisting you.
Well, yeah, thanks, Dolph, for having me on. And yeah, I mean, a lot of great players have gone through here in the last 6 years, and some great seniors that had potential to play professionally this year as well as juniors, and that's all up in the air as well. As we know, with the MLB not playing right now and making adjustments to the drafts, but a lot of uncertainty, and to the past, a lot of great help on my staff and our coaching staff, and we've gone through several. We've talked about that before as they moved on to the professional ranks or full-time jobs, that type of thing. But the program's in the right place, and this team was doing a great job when it ended, and it was sad that it did. We'd beaten the likes of Arizona, North Carolina, Duke, teams that were all teams predicted to go far into the tournament this year, and the guys were doing a great job.
Coach Rick Heller with us, Iowa Hawkeye baseball coach. Rick, before we talk individuals and numbers, and they're glowing indeed through 15 games, what to you, you're such a veteran coach, 900 wins, you're one of 4 coaches at the university with at least 200 victories in your career, and that's only going to go up. What to you are the top 2 or 3 asterisks in constructing a winning program and then maintaining consistency, success?
Well, I mean, it's tough to answer that, quickly because there's so many facets to how you run a program. But I would say just really having a solid plan, solid communication, so that your players and your recruits know the plan. A big part of having a great program is getting the right people on board, getting the right coaches that have the same aspirations as the head coach, and then also getting the right kids into the program that have those assets, unselfishness, care about their teammates, hard workers, humble kids that do a great job in the community, in the classroom. It's not just baseball in our program, and it never has been. And I've been doing this a long time, and my beliefs on how you do things and the right way to do things have really never changed. I've just tried to improve each year and learn more and do better, but the goals and the base of that really haven't changed since day one. And we're a big process-driven program. We don't focus on the results. We focus on each day, getting better each day, and not just baseball, but in all parts of our life, working hard, doing things the right way. And at the end of the day, when the games start, that's the time for the players to go out and enjoy and have fun. And you see a lot of people have asked me, we've had so many comeback wins at Iowa, in the last 2 innings, last 3 innings, last inning, that you don't see a lot in baseball. And I think that's a tribute to the fact that our guys truly just play the game. They don't worry about things they can't control. They focus on those that they can, and they just keep playing, and they keep playing hard, and then you always have a chance when you do that. And that's a very short answer to a very diverse question.
Iowa baseball led the Big Ten in hitting at 295 when play was interrupted. They led the league. The Hawks did in RBIs, in runs scored. And it wasn't just about hitting. The Hawks leading the Big Ten in fielding percentage at 980, a collective ERA of 3.39. So the pitching staff has done its part. And yet it was still early in the season. Rick, you got a rotation led by a lefty, Jack Dreyer, Grant Judkins. You know what you had in that young guy coming out of Pella. Duncan Davitt, or David, if I got that wrong. I apologize. Davitt, okay, I got it right the first time. And then, of course, closer, and maybe the best closer, certainly one of the best in college baseball, in Grant Leonard. So you seem to have a nice balance right now of arms and hitting.
Oh, no question. And that was the really big thing to us, was that coming into the season, we felt like that if we could defend at an elite level with the pitching staff we had, the offense up and down the lineup that we had, the consistency there, this team had a chance to go a long way, and couldn't have been happier with how we were playing defense. As you said, we're leading the Big Ten, fielding at an elite level, and just really playing well in all facets of the game. And the crazy thing was that I didn't feel like we were hot or had hit our stride. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't like we were on fire. We were just playing really good, steady baseball. I felt like the pitching was really coming on, and that you would have saw that group really take off as the weather warmed up and we were able to play at home in April. And I felt like that the pitching was the strong point of this team coming in, not only with the talent, but with the depth, and then having a guy at the back end like Grant Leonard. And then, we also had Trace Hoffman and Dylan Nedved all able to close games out. So we were really setting in a good place.
Iowa baseball coach Rick Heller, our guest here on our Hawkeye podcast today. Thank you so much for listening in. We're brought to you in part by our friends at Athletico. Hawkeye partner, Athletico Physical Therapy, remains open to safely provide physical and occupational therapy treatment options in clinic and online during COVID-19. Delaying treatment could mean additional expenses and prolonged pain. Visit them online at athletico.com and request an appointment in clinic or virtually through a secure online video chat via FaceTime or Zoom, and start feeling better tomorrow. And thanks to our friends at Iowa Corn. These indeed are uncertain times, but know that as Iowa's corn farmers get ready for spring planting, we remain optimistic that their crops will grow to feed livestock, fuel your vehicle with ethanol, and be part of over 4,000 products that you use every day. The Iowa corn farmer plays a vital role in our state, and we're proud to call Iowa home. You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Back to our visit with Rick Heller. I'll come back to pitching, Rick, but one of my favorite players on the team is your leading hitter, in a sense, Isaiah Fallard. Mm-hmm. He led at the time of the interruption. Isaiah led the Hawkeyes in the Big Ten in RBIs with 21. I mean, he's on track to shatter his RBI total of 31 that took him 52 games to get as a sophomore. He's got 21 already, and, of course, he's a great legacy kid. His dad was quite an athlete at Iowa.
Oh, for sure. Isaiah was off to a great start. You hit it on the head with the RBIs. When he was at Kirkwood the one year, I think he led the country in RBIs. He just has a real knack for the game. He's got a lot of savvy. He knows what to do to be able to get the run in. I mean, he'll make an adjustment. He'll hit the ball the right side. He'll do whatever he has to do to get that run in. And he was in a really good place. He'd worked hard. We talk about his hitting, but Isaiah and I talked at length this summer before the fall started that for this team to have a chance to go a long ways in the postseason, we needed Isaiah Fallard to be able to play a very steady second base, a quality second base, taking over for one of the better defenders in the Big Ten, and Mitch Bowe, who had been there for 4 years. And he took that challenge and was playing an outstanding second base, turning the double play, worked on his footwork, just did a tremendous job, as far as improvement there. And Isaiah's always been a great hitter, but he was turning into, my opinion, a pro hitter. I mean, he was really, really, how do you want to say, I guess, closing some holes that he maybe had when he came in,
Mm-hmm.
and was pulling the ball with backspin, pulling the ball with power, where he was more of a middle to oppo guy. And he still, that's his strength, but guys would attack him in, and they weren't able to do that anymore. He'd deposit over the left field wall if they did that now. And that was a big adjustment for Isaiah, and put himself in a situation. Last year was a good year for Isaiah offensively, but that first year in Division I baseball for all players, it's also a learning year where you find out that the pitchers are good enough to attack your weaknesses, and they attack it with high velocity. And Isaiah made a really nice adjustment.
Iowa baseball coach Rick Heller, our guest here on our Hawkeye podcast today. Thank you so much for listening in. We're brought to you in part by Quickstar, committed to serving our communities and ensuring access to all essentials during these challenging times. They'll continue to provide fresh milk, bread, eggs, butter, and more, as well as your hot food favorites, including pizza. They've got you covered when you want to get in and out quickly and back home. Thanks to Quickstar. Back to our visit with Rick Heller. You've got Zeb Andrian at 333, Peyton Williams at 298, Ben Norman 295, Austin Martin 277. I mean, you got Fallard hitting up around 400. You knew what you had in most of these guys. I notice a senior, Matt Sosa, is second on the team in multi-hit games with 5, and he's up around 315. Did you see that coming out of him this year?
Well, we knew that Matt had also made big improvements. He went out in summer league and played all summer, came back this fall, had really made some strides with his defense. Offensively, Jake Yosnich was our hitting coach, along with Marty Sutherland in the fall. And I thought that Matt made as big of improvement with his swing as any guy on our team. And I told our staff heading into the season that to me, Matt was arguably the most improved player on our ball club. And he went out, he won the job at third base. He was playing great defensively. He had really flattened his swing out, and was getting some big hits for us at the bottom part of the order, getting on base at a high clip, and really was doing a nice job for us. So I was super happy with the work that Matt put in over the off season. He got bigger and stronger in the weight room. I mean, just basically did everything he needed to do to take a big step forward.
We're visiting with Iowa baseball coach Rick Heller. Thanks to Rick for his time today, and we'll wrap things up with the coach in just a minute. U.S. Bank is proud to support our Hawkeyes and the communities that they serve during these challenging times by providing critical frontline employees with a temporary 20% hourly wage increase, and by committing $30 million to human services organizations and local nonprofits to support COVID-19 recovery efforts. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Another wonderful Hawkeye supporter is Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling Company, proud to support the local communities in which we live, work, and play. Every day, Atlantic Coca-Cola bottling trucks continue to help the food and beverage supply chain, delivering products to retail outlets and those restaurants providing carry-out and delivery services. Iowans, as we know, are resilient, and together we are stronger. Iowa baseball, very, very strong to this point. Hopefully the season resumes sooner than later. Rick, we know how valuable good pitching is to success in baseball. And we mentioned Dreyer, Judkins, Davitt, Leonard, and others a little bit ago. What would you say collectively are the strengths of this rotation?
Well, it starts with competitiveness, and that's Jack Dreyer on Friday night. And along with that, it comes with quality stuff and consistency. And those three guys, they have all that. And then you can throw Trenton Wallace into that mix as well, who was coming out of the bullpen, but was really every bit as good as the starters, and doing a great job there. Cam Bauman, we had some other guys, as we were sorting the rotation out that were doing quality work. But, the ability in college baseball and professional baseball is the best guys are able to throw off-speed pitches in fastball counts, in hitters counts. And those three guys are able to do that extremely well, those 4 or 5 guys. And then you throw Leonard into that, makes it back in. But a great deal of our success is their pitchability, their competitiveness, their ability to hit spots and throw secondary pitches in fastball counts. And all of those guys do that extremely well. And then, you got Grant Jenkins on Saturday. Really, we have 2 Friday night pitchers on this team. And, when we went to the regional tournament and did really well, we had, Tyler Payton and Blake Hickman. You basically had 2 Friday night guys, and boy, then you've got a chance to do something. And we had that this year with Jack and Grant Jenkins, and the consistency that Grant has showed in his career on the mound has just been outstanding. And he was off to a great start, and not a surprise to any of us that was going to win a lot of games on Saturday for us.
87 strikeouts to 24 walks. I'll take that ratio, and I know you will most every season. And I did notice that Tom Gorzolani, that outstanding major league pitcher for so many years, is back in the fold as director of ops for helping out with the operational side. I'm guessing he's watching the pitchers at least, Tom, maybe offering some advice to you.
Oh, no question. And that's what Tom's able to do, is help us as much as he can within the rules. But really just eyes and ears, making recommendations, and to have a guy with Tom's experience and background and his work ethic and what he was able to do to play 10 plus years in the major leagues. I mean, having a guy like that on your staff is invaluable, and he's just got a great relationship with our players. He's able to talk with them a lot about the mental side of the game, the competitive side of the game, things they can do to improve themselves in that area, and then being the eyes and ears for our new pitching coach Robin Lund, who's doing an outstanding job, and he and Tom are collaborating a lot, and Tom's able to look at a lot of the data and the tech stuff and improve as far as moving on down the road and getting a job in Major League Baseball, which he will be working in pro baseball very soon. So anyway, we're going to really enjoy the time that we have Tom with us, and it's great to have him.
Indeed it is. It's great to have you as a guest today on our Hawkeye podcast, Coach Rick Heller of the Iowa baseball program. I hope the next time we circle back to you, Coach, you just got done with BP or fungo or
I hope so too.
Fielding practice or something like that. But I know the Hawk fans love hearing from you. Rick, all the best going forward, and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Dolph. I don't know if we have time, but I just wanted to throw this out there. It was a little bit of a sad day yesterday. We lost a good one in our state, and Jim Mahoney, the former coach at Johnston, Hall of Fame coach, and grandfather to our Hawkeye, Jake Yosnich. But we lost Jim to a battle with leukemia. I want to send the prayers and thoughts out to the families. His son Mike played in the major leagues. Just a fantastic man, and he gave so much, not only to the game but to everyone. And we're going to really miss him.
Well, our sympathies and thoughts and prayers to the Mahoney family as well. And thanks so much for your time, Coach. We'll talk again.
Thanks, Dolph.
Hopefully we're hearing the sounds of baseballs flying off the crack of the bat. And until then, we'll continue to bring you updates on our Fight for Iowa podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to Coach Rick Heller. Join us next Friday when Hawkeye superstar Luca Garza joins us. Until then, stay safe.